Welcome back to 1011 News at Noon. Joining us now is retired family physician Dr. Dale Michaels. And today we're talking about July being Ultraviolet Safety Awareness Month. So Dr. Michaels, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here.
Looks like we have some props today.
Yeah, we have some readiness. You know,
Yes.
One of the first things to do is wear some sort of a hat to protect. And, you know, hats are good because they not only protect the top of your head, their face, but they'll also protect the ears and your neck. So it's really important to consider that. You know, a lot of people use the so-called farmer's hat. Everybody knows about that. The cap will protect your face, but with the mesh on the top, you can actually get sunburned on top just as easily because the sun will penetrate through the cap. So it's important to think about those things and be prepared, because even if it's sort of cloudy, the UV radiation will still come through and you can still get a sunburn or have the UV harm occur to your skin. So those are the first things. The next thing as we go down our body here is to think about glasses. It's important that we don't tend to think about what happens with the UV radiation to our eyes, but it can cause some damage. So yeah, wear some good sunglasses that will protect you. That's very helpful. The next thing down in the step is lips. Okay. You know, we tend to, all right, I'll put on sunscreen and I'll do those sorts of things, but we forget about our lips. So even many of the lip balms have some sun protection factor for your lips so that you can protect them. And those are important. Interestingly, some people say, well, you ought to wear long sleeves. Forget it in Nebraska with this humidity and heat. Nah, we're not going to do that. But sunscreens are very important, and there are lots of them on the market. I just grabbed 2 or 3 from home. There's kids sunscreen, there's infant sunscreen, there's adult sunscreen. 3 probably key factors. Avoid the sprays with little kids because they won't close their eyes, they won't quit breathing, and you can end up getting the sunscreen in their eyes or in their mouth. So using the rub-on sunscreens with little kids especially is important. The second thing is remember to apply in those areas you don't think you need to, because when you're, for instance, out in the pool or something, your swimsuit shifts, and the area you didn't think you needed to cover with sunscreen is suddenly available to the sun, and it'll burn very easily. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, of course, to talk about is reapply, especially if you're around water, but even with sweating, you need to reapply sunscreen on a regular basis to protect yourself from the UV rays and to keep everything sort of under control, or at least under better control. And if it's really hot and sunny like today, maybe not go out for very long. Just stay out for a little while. You know, falling asleep next to the pool for 2 hours is probably not a good thing.
Yeah, no, you could get very burnt like that.
Very burnt.
All right, well, Dr. Michaels, thank you very much. Some great information for everyone.
Good to be here.
And we'll be right back with a final check of that warm forecast with Brad after the break.